quarterback think you're obviously right.
Obviously. Number 2, obviously.
Obviously. Captain Obvious with Super Bowl champ.
Can't do it.
Rob Ninkovich. Yes, Rob Ninkovich is taking time out of his busy day to transform into the television phenomenon that is Captain Robvious. He's got the Robvious answers to these hard-hitting NFL questions. You ready, Nick?
I think. Yeah.
Sorry, Captain Robvious. First up, what's the Robvious number of wins Aaron Rodgers and the Packers end up with this season?
I didn't want to go too crazy here. I was going to say 8, but now I'm going to say 7 is kind of realistic. And if they didn't win another game, it would be, really, really bad. So I'll go with 7. That's still not great, but I can deal with 7.
I'll take the over on your
You're going to go, okay, look at the schedule and tell me what you think.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers. All right, next up, what's the Robvious number of touchdowns your old pal Tom Brady throws against that tough Niners defense?
Okay, so the Niners are a really tough defense. I'm definitely not going with no touchdowns, not going with 1. I'm going to go with 2 touchdowns. I think that's a decent number. Tom's going to score in this matchup. They're not going to hold him to no points. That's not realistic. So obviously, 2.
You know what the actual answer is, Rob?
2.
How many do they need to win? That's how many he's
3.
going to throw. What's the Robvious number of playoff wins for the Cowboys this postseason?
Well, if I said 0, that would obviously be very bad, and not many people would like me. So I'm going to say 1. We'll go with 1. They'll win 1 playoff game, and then they're going to face maybe the Eagles.
Yeah, by the way, the Cowboys win 1 playoff game every 5 years, 10 years or so.
Yeah, that's
plenty for them.
It's obviously correct.
However, Captain Robvious, according to our analytics, the Cowboys, not the NFC East leading Eagles, have the best chance to win the conference at 46%. Those same analytics have them at 29% to win the whole thing. 29% against the field to win the Super Bowl.
Who's doing
the best
this?
among any team in the NFL. Bill Barnwell, we know what ESPN FPI thinks. How confident are you that the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl?
I am very, very skeptical. And I'm skeptical for, some would say, obvious reasons about the Dallas Cowboys. Think about who is coaching.
I want to know who puts that together. Who puts that together? Is that a computer? Is that something?
FPI?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's basically a mind control machine that we have in Bristol.
Yeah.
But it has been pretty effective in the past, but they don't realize how bad Mike McCarthy is when it comes to these late game decisions. And if they don't win first place in the NFC East, they're going to have to play 3 games to get to the Super Bowl, including at least 1 game on the road. Mike McCarthy, maybe you can get through 1 game where they win comfortably, but 3 games means you're probably going to have at least 1 close game in that bunch. And I don't trust Mike McCarthy to win that close game against another competent NFL coach.
I know the matchup for the Bucs is bad, but it could easily be that they're on the road against Tom Brady. And by the way, don't let those guys get healthy and start clicking, because in a close game down the stretch, do I like Mike McCarthy or Tom Brady?
That's a good point.
And the last time I checked, you can't just flip a switch and your penalty woes go away. Penalties are a huge deciding factor in winning and losing in the playoffs. And they haven't corrected everything when it comes to all those mistakes that they're making.
Is that the key to getting to the next level?
I would say yes, because when you lead the NFL in penalties, that's hidden yardage. That's the hidden yardage battle. Where are you starting at and where's your opponent starting in the playoffs? That's huge for field goals, red zone, all that. So again, the Cowboys, I don't see them just flipping a switch and being a very disciplined team.
Also, lock Mike McCarthy in a box for the 4th quarter. Let someone else make decisions. That is the duo for the Packers.
I suppose that's possible. It does feel different to me this year because of Micah Parsons. Parsons feels different. I think he's probably the best player in football, if not one of the top 3 or 4. It just feels a little different. Baker Mayfield just got to L.A. I mean, he just got to L.A. And now he might be starting tonight for the Rams against the Raiders? Has this ever happened before? An update on the Rams quarterback mess is on the way, and WNBA star Shania Gumake joins us for more perspective on the release of Brittany Griner and the role the basketball community played in her return home. The Rams claimed former number 1 overall pick Baker Mayfield off waivers Tuesday, the only NFL team to put in a claim. Matthew Stafford is on the injured reserve, while backup John Wolford is listed as questionable. So will Baker play tonight versus the Raiders? What's the latest on this?
Somebody has to.
He just got there.
I'm aware.
How many hours is this? Would this be the record, Graz? Hours between joining a team and playing?
We had research on this today to see if this is unprecedented. I think 1958 was the last time they found a guy that played for one team and then started at quarterback for another team the next week. So that's a while back. Look, Baker Mayfield, they sent him the playbook. He read it on the plane. We've heard all this. John Wolford is questionable. He was able to practice on a limited basis the last couple days. So if he checks out before the game, I think the odds are that he starts. He's the backup to Stafford, and he would start. They have Bryce Perkins there as well. But they have not ruled out the possibility of Mayfield starting if Wolford can't go. They've not ruled out the possibility of multiple quarterbacks playing in this game. The Rams, life comes at you fast. Like the Rams don't have.
How many hours ago was he claimed, Graz?
Well, it was what? It was Tuesday, right? No, it was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday at 4. So what is it right now?
It's not even 48 hours ago.
Not even 48 hours.
And then in hours from now, for the defending world champions?
And this guy wasn't even playing.
At quarterback?
No, I'm with you. Like, I understand. What I'm saying is that's how desperate a situation the Rams are in health-wise at the quarterback position. They could be starting a guy who wasn't starting for his previous team and has only been a member of the Rams organization for about 48 hours. Wild stuff.
Wild. To Buffalo, where Bills star Von Miller is out for the season after he had surgery Tuesday on his knee and doctors discovered an ACL injury. Miller was hurt on Thanksgiving in Detroit and was hoping he could return this month. Here is the great Von Miller on the great Pat McAfee Show.
I'm excited. Yeah, whenever you get hit with, something like this, it sucks at first, but I wasn't gonna let myself go down that depressing road and just get into like a little ball of self-pity. I'm not doing that. My life is good, man. I'm in a great spot. And, you got to take it one day at a time, man, and we'll be all right.
What does this mean for the Bills that he's out for the season, Russ?
Well, it's very bad for the Bills. The reason they signed Von Miller is because they felt like they have a Super Bowl caliber team that hasn't been able to get to the Super Bowl. And why haven't they been able to get to the Super Bowl? They keep losing to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. And why do they keep losing to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs? They can't get him on the ground in third down in the fourth quarter. So they signed Von Miller, and lo and behold, they go to Kansas City earlier this year, and what happens? They beat him because Von Miller gets Patrick Mahomes on the ground in the fourth quarter. So the plan worked. The problem is when and if they see Kansas City in the playoffs, they're not going to have Von Miller. So some of the other edge rushers are going to have to step up, and if they felt really good about their chances of doing that, they wouldn't have gone out and guaranteed Von Miller $45 million.
Nick, you were on 2 Super Bowl defenses. You know the importance of having a closer like Von Miller, a guy who can get there, as Graz said. How does this affect Buffalo's Super Bowl chances?
Well, I think when you lose key players, especially towards the end of the season, into the playoffs, the margins for error are a lot smaller. And those guys are game changers off of just one play. So it's a sack or a strip sack. I mean, you see it in every single Super Bowl. Think of every single Super Bowl. There is a turnover, a sack, an interception that happens that basically determines the outcome of the game. I think, the Patriots, we all know the Seattle slant, Malcolm Butler. I think the Patriots lost to the Eagles. Mm-hmm. I think the strip sack on Tom Brady, which
Brandon
sealed.
Graham. Yeah.
Exactly. Brandon Graham with the strip sack on Tom Brady. All those little things.
The only defensive play in the entire game.
In the playoffs. So I think the Buffalo Bills are really, really going to be affected by the loss of Von Miller because no matter what they say, he'll be on the sidelines cheering us on, that doesn't do anything for the guys on the field. The guys on the field have to make the play.
The NFL, more than any of the major sports in this country, the team is not the same at the end of the season that it is. To start the season, oh my God, they're even better than we thought, right, Bill? But where do you rank them now after all this?
This hurts. This hurts, Max. I picked the Bills to make the Super Bowl like pretty much everyone else in America. I have to lean towards the Ravens. Not a bad pick. I have to lean towards the Chiefs now because the Chiefs are a healthier football team. For the Bills, it's not just Von Miller. They lost Micah Hyde, their star safety, part of that best safety collection in football. Tre'Davious White, their number 1 cornerback, is back now on the field, but not playing 100% of the snaps. He might not